Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
That's Danielle.
And she's Justine.
And this is
That's What They Called News.
All right. Whew, we got that out of the way. How's your week?
Episode 6.
Whoop, whoop.
So my week is good.
We found out today, my day is fantastic because we found out today that we had a listener in Australia. I really honestly never thought that would happen. And it's kind of exciting, and I hope we get more listeners in Australia. So if you were the one person who downloaded our podcast from Australia, hey, thanks.
We appreciate you.
You're amazing. We love you.
Share us with your friends.
Do that. Do what she said. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, what's been going on this week? This week has actually been pretty chill for me.
Yeah. My daughter's getting ready in her bedroom as we speak to go to Denver this weekend because she has concert tickets.
Oh my God.
That she bought all by herself.
Is she going with her boyfriend?
Yeah.
How is she that big?
I don't know, but they have the whole thing planned out.
Are they staying in a hotel?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
And
wait, can't they even get a hotel? Don't you have to be like 25?
Nope, I think it's just 18.
Wow.
Which is the boyfriend.
Which is the boyfriend, because he's going to college.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Well, I mean, she's going to be a senior in high school, so I mean,
I know, which is totally like, I mean, I remember what I was doing when I was going to be a senior in high school, so like fair, but yeah, my oldest is getting ready to go to Europe. So I guess that's kind of a big deal.
It is.
It's like a really big deal.
Because neither of us have ever been to Europe.
No, we have not.
Ugh.
She's going to have so much fun.
It's going to be awesome.
She's going to make so many memories. I'm so excited for her. I'm really sad I don't get to go, but I'll let her have this one, I guess. All right. So today we are being left at the altar.
Well, that doesn't sound like much fun.
Well, it really doesn't. But the story's pretty good.
Okay.
So this story comes from the New Britain Herald in New Britain, Connecticut, July 11th, 1923. It says, groom startles wedding party by refusing to go through ceremony and spurning bride at the altar.
Spurning.
Yeah.
Okay.
My glasses are really dirty. I can barely see.
Do you need to clean them, friend?
No, I tried, and they just keep smearing. I'll be fine.
Okay.
John Zielinski breaks up nuptial event by repudiating bride-to-be and leaving church without explanation. And just to be clear, repudiating is refusing to accept or to be associated with. So he's like, bye, bitch.
Deuces.
I'm out. Deserted at the altar at the Church of the Sacred Heart by a fiancé who refused to go through with the ceremony after the priest of the church had begun the service. Miss Josephine, and I had to look this up because it's
looks like Czech.
I think it's Portuguese. You know the jokes. Oh, Polish. You know the jokes about the Polish people? I don't know.
God.
I don't know any jokes, but
I don't either.
Aren't they usually jokes about Polish
Polacks?
people? Oh, yeah. See, Polacks. See,
okay.
We're from the Polak/Bohemian craziness part of the world. So, anyway, you say it. We got really distracted. Miss Josephine Tkach, I think.
Okay.
It's spelled Tkacz. So I think it's Tkach.
Yeah.
Any Polish people, you let me know. From 100 North Street, a waitress is in Long Island at the home of a sister, still single, while John Zielinski of 176 High Street is the possessor of a marriage license, which at the last minute he refused to use. Sweethearts for 7 years, the prospective bridegroom suddenly refused to accept the girl as his wife, interrupted the ceremony, arose, and walked out of the church, astonishing the priest and guests after publicly repudiating her. Zielinski was born in Poland, but came to this country about 10 years ago. During the war, he returned and served 2 years in the Polish army. Neighbors claim that he has been receiving letters regularly from Poland ever since. And there are vague speculations that he may have taken a wife while overseas. Okay, first of all, wow. This was on like page 2 of the newspaper.
Okay.
It was probably in like the social columns, but they're just like throwing it out there like there's no proof, but we think maybe he had a mistress or a wife even overseas.
Okay.
Miss Tkach is the daughter of Mrs. Mary Tkach and has been a waitress at the Young Women's Christian Association for the past year. Officials at the institution speak of her in terms of the highest praise. Following the courtship of almost 7 years, wow, the couple decided to get married. They called at the office of the city clerk, A.L. Thompson, Monday and received their license. There was no reluctance to be noticed on the part of the young man at the time, according to Colonel Thompson. Monday evening, Zelinsky called upon the girl at her home and spent some time there. Neighbors who did not seem to approve of the young man also called upon the girl Monday and endeavored to persuade her to change her mind. But she refused and said she was going through with the ceremony. But she regretted that.
Red flags.
Red flags. Oh my God, speaking of red flags. Do you ever see the guy on TikTok?
Yes.
The red flag guy?
Yes.
Oh, he's my favorite. I love it when he has green flags and he's like, cutie patootie alert. I love him so much. Anyway, like whenever I see a TikTok now that's like got red flags, I'm like, oh man, I want to send it to him. Be like, here's one. I found one. All right. Part of Monday, she spent with Mrs. Mike Kaczynski, a sister of her intended husband, both women doing shopping for the wedding breakfast, which was to have been served at the Kaczynski home where Zelinsky boarded. It's lots of skis. Also, I had no idea that wedding breakfasts were a thing until I watched
Bridgerton.
the recent season of Bridgerton, and I learned it. And then I read this article, and I was like, well, look at that. Yeah. We really did have wedding breakfast.
And dancing at weddings was unheard of.
Really?
You didn't pick up on that?
No.
Yeah, because Colin asked Penelope what she wanted to do, and she was like, I want to dance with my husband. And he was like, what? It's daylight.
Oh, it was during the day. It was like, they had like morning weddings.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was distracted doing something during the last episode, like the season finale. And so I really need to rewatch, but I want to rewatch from the beginning, but I want to not be interrupted. So
I get that.
I gotta,
You're just going to have to come over here and watch it with me.
Bide my time, I guess. Plans were made for a honeymoon trip to New London. The ceremony was set for 7:30 o'clock yesterday morning. According to neighbors, 7:30 in the morning. According to neighbors, Zelinsky told his intended bride that it would be up to her to provide her own wedding clothes, which is contrary to custom among Polish and Russian families, and that she would have to buy her own bouquet. She did this in both cases. The wedding party arrived at the church on scheduled time and marched down to the altar as per arrangements. Prospective bride and bridegroom knelt before the rail, and Reverend Alexander Kowalski, I have it written out phonetically and I still can't say it. Yes, you are correct. Say it again. Kowalczyk. Okay, so having a Czech maiden name, you would think I would be able to figure this out.
Yeah, but yours is more phonetically spelled than this nonsense.
First sentence. Whatever. I don't even know what I was trying to say. Reverend Kowalczyk began the ceremony to unite them. This was the best part. Do you take this woman, Josephine, to be your wife? Asked the priest. No. Came the astonishing reply. Believing he had been misunderstood, the priest repeated, John, do you take Josephine to be your wife? No. Again, replied John. Do you understand what I'm saying? Inquired the priest. Certainly I understand, and I don't want her. Ouch. Oh. Poor Josephine. I feel so bad for her. Gosh. John is alleged to have repeated. Rising to his feet and addressing the friends and neighbors gathered here, the fickle bridegroom announced, I hereby notify all of you people that I don't want this woman as my wife. I'm sorry. This isn't funny. This is so sad. He then walked out of the church and disappeared, ignoring the calls of the priest to return and finish the ceremony or give a satisfactory explanation. Can you imagine the priest just standing there and be like, wait, what? No, come back. Wait, no, you can't.
You're kidding, right? Like, what? Where are the cameras? Am I being punked?
I bet she dropped that bouquet. So that's like, are you effing
I would have
kidding me
thrown
right
it
now?
at his head.
Oh my God. The deserted bride and her attendants left immediately after, taking a taxi cab, which was left standing at the church. She went to the Kaczynski's home, obtained her clothing, and left immediately for Long Island. Yeah, same girl. Mm-hmm. Same. Efforts were made to locate Zelinsky today, but he could not be found. He did not report for work at the plant where he is employed, but according to his sister, arose, ate breakfast, and went out for the day. No explanation of his strange behavior was made to his sister, according to the latter, nor did he return to explain his actions to the priest. Excuse me. In my 20 years as priest of the church, I have never seen anything like that before, commented the priest.
I bet not.
No, I don't want her.
Wow.
Ouch.
That's just so, like, but wait, do you think back then they had the part about, like, if anyone sees a reason for these two to not be married, speak now or forever hold your peace?
That's what you're supposed to do when they read the Banes.
The what?
Bands. I don't know what the bands maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know what they're called, but that's like when they like announce their engagement, like intention to the church.
Oh,
or like,
yes. Okay. I'm
in
with you.
Bridgerton.
Yes.
Like right before the wedding.
It's where we're
a couple
basing
days
all of our
before the
historical
wedding,
knowledge.
They go in and they read the Banes or Bands.
Yeah.
I can't remember which way it's on. But yeah, so that's like, and that's when they say, does anyone object? Mm-hmm. Oh. I don't know if they still did that in 1923 or not, but
also in America rather than
that's also true.
Europe.
That's also true. But yeah, poor Josephine.
I feel really bad for her.
Really feel bad for her.
Well, then we can move on to this story about my husband's love.
Well, let's hope it's better than John's.
My goodness. Well, Adele Garrison's new phase of revelations of a wife. What Mother Graham did to make the place secure. Catherine's description of Mother Graham is imagining the curtain just gone down on the first act was most apropos. Apropos? Mm-hmm. What the heck does apropos mean?
Like...
Accurate,
yeah.
Okay.
Like, I was going to say nail on the head, but yes, accurate.
Okay. I mentally commented as my mother-in-law came hurrying back into the living room with Mrs. Tyser smiling sedately in her wake. Okay. She was all a twitter with excitement, and I saw that, as usual, when anything exciting happens, her ill temper had been smothered by her curiosity. "Bless my soul, girls," she said importantly as she bustled in. "Have you heard about this escaped bootlegger?
Oh, no.
Probably a murderer.
Of course he is.
Who Mr. Tyser and Jerry are helping the state troopers hunt?"
Oh, my goodness. Not a bootlegger.
Oh, my gosh. I did not need Catherine's surreptitious... Why'd you give me the one with all the big words?
I don't know. I just wanted to let you struggle.
What?
Now I can't say it.
Anyway, some type of nudge to take my cue. It would never do to rob Mother Graham of the dramatic thrill which would invest her recital of the facts she just learned to Mrs. Tyser.
From Mrs. Tyser.
From Mrs. Tyser.
The fact she
Oh my
learned,
gosh. Yeah. Okay. That a good idea? A murderer? I exclaimed in pretend astonishment. Jerry said something about chasing a man, but I didn't. That's about as much concentration as you ever put upon a subject, Margaret, my mother-in-law interrupted with kindly haunter.
Hotture.
Hotture?
Like, hottie.
Oh, okay.
You're hottie.
My goodness. Suppose you listen carefully now, Miss Tyser says. With commendable gravity, Catherine and I listened to Mother Graham's exaggerated version of the tracking expedition Sam Tyser and Jerry had joined, and of which we had heard in detail from Sam Tyser himself only a few minutes before. By no gesture or word did Catherine or I betray our previous knowledge, although comprehending twinkle in Mrs. Tyser's eyes before she turned to the window made it hard for us to keep our faces straight.
We all know this lady, right? Who just can't wait to spread all of the gossip.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Gosh. I must warn Jim to keep a lookout. This when she had repeated every detail of the story at least twice. Why, the man might take a notion to try to hide in our barn.
Oh, no, not our barn.
That subconsciously she hoped he would do that very thing was plain to all of us. With reluctance, I spoke for the first time since my mother-in-law's monologue began. Don't you think we'd better tell Jim to keep the news from Katie as long as he can? I asked deferentially. Oh my goodness, I quit. I'm not just done.
Don't quit. We're fine.
Okay. For I had visions of what our household would be like with Katie's probably hysteria added to Mother Graham's excitement. Really, Margaret, that's a very good idea. My mother-in-law's comment was the perfection of patronage, however you want to say it, as she left the room, and Catherine finished the sentence with a grin. For a moron, she murmured it in so low a voice that I was sure Mrs. Tyser did not hear her. Oh my gosh. With a hasty, impudent grimace at her, I turned to our neighbor who, with insufficient self-effacing courtesy, had pretended to be absorbed with the view of the distant ocean from the living room windows while my mother-in-law was talking to me. Did you tell Mother Graham about getting the girl across the road to help? I asked. Mrs. Tyser turned from the window with an amused little smile playing around her mouth.
I like Mrs. Tyser.
I didn't get a chance, she said. I happened to mention the bootlegger first, and just as soon as she had found out all I knew, she flew down here.
Shocking.
Suppose you sit down, I suggested. You'll have quite a wait for Mother Graham, I imagine. She's probably searching the barn herself by this time, Catherine commented whimsically, but I know my doting mother-in-law was sure that my friend's conjecture had far more truth than she suspected. Mother Graham is pleased. I thought I might start on the rooms, Mrs. Tyser said, but she didn't tell me which ones. She got so excited about the news. Could you tell me where I'm to start? I shook my head decidedly. No, indeed. I wouldn't think of interfering with her plans. If I were at home all the time, it would be different, but she is in charge here while I am gone. I am here now only for 2 or 3 days, and I mustn't say a word.
How good. What a good daughter-in-law. She's like, oh, no. Don't out. No, I'm not messing this shit up.
Being a wise lady with a due regard for the position of your head on your shoulders. Catherine chuckled, and I realized my mother-in-law was being dissipated in these caustic little comments.
Yeah, Catherine's salty.
A little bit.
She got a little sass.
I like her.
I also have a Catherine who has some sass.
Exactly, I returned, and then we sat in the resultory chatter with which people fill up time until my mother-in-law came in, probably much pleased with herself. Well, he isn't around these premises, she announced triumphantly. I took Jim with me, and we searched every cranny of the barn and every other building on the place. Jim's barring all the door everywhere now. He can carry the keys with him and unlock them when he takes the animals in and out. And then he's going over all the fastenings of the house.
So Catherine was right. She was indeed searching the barn herself.
Goodness.
We all know Mrs. Graham.
I believe we do.
I feel like I'm more like Mrs. Tyser. Just sit quietly in the background, like, I'm sorry.
Just a fly on the wall.
I said one thing and she just went off. All right. Now we have some facts and fancies.
All right.
By Robert Quillen, I'm going to say.
Looks right.
The weaker the body, the better chance a disease germ has. And that explains the growth of strange politicalisms. About all you can say for the 12-hour day is that it enables men to do part of their loafing on the company's time. For sure. Correct this sentence. You go onto the picnic, mother, said the flapper, and I'll stay at home and do the housework. Burn. Even in these boisterous times, it is easy to lead a peaceful and undisturbed existence if you will omit the advertising approbation. A hicktown, well, I'm not sure what I said. A hicktown is a place where the banker calls you on the phone and wishes to know when you're going to do something about that overdraft.
I feel like we live in a hick town.
Yes, we absolutely do. That's why I put that one in there. I was like, yeah, that sounds like something that would happen here. It hasn't happened to me yet, but...
No, but I'm
just saying, I know the banker personally, and I'm sure he'd just give me a call.
He would have no reservations about doing that.
None.
Well, this one is about a really long beard.
Like a face beard?
I think so.
I'm not sure what other kinds of beards there are.
I don't know either, but...
Dead dragons.
Excuse me. His beard is 17 feet long.
17 feet.
That's real long.
Also in 1923, I bet it smelled really bad.
I just imagine like a big old dreadlock hanging off of this dude's chin.
Oh, gross.
Anyway. Salesman convention to crown Langseth Grand Whiskerino of Universe.
Whiskerino. The Grand Whiskerino.
Whiskerino.
I want to bring back this competition, and if it's already back, someone please let me know so I can watch it.
Chicago, July 11th. Proud professor of whiskers, more than 17 feet in length, Hans W. Langseth, 77 years old, of Barney, North Dakota, is to have conferred upon him the title of Supreme Grand Whiskerino of the Universe during the annual convention of the International Association of Specialty Salesmen in session here this week.
Okay. 77 years old. Mm-hmm. He's had a long time to grow that beard.
Yes.
But I'm just going to let it go.
Okay.
I'm just really disturbed. That's a really long beard.
It is. The aged Viking, born in Norway,
Oh, that makes more sense.
arrived here yesterday. Outside Langseth, vest are whiskery aplenty, but inside the...
Did you say whiskery plenty?
Yeah, whiskery. Whiskers aplenty. But inside the
I looked this one up. Septuagenarian. Okay. That is a person who is from 70 to 79 years old.
That's a very specific age range.
Right? Like, he's in his 70s.
Okay.
All right.
Septuagenarian?
Yeah.
Okay.
It looks like orangutan.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't look anything like that, but
No. I mean, part of it does.
it looks like a weird word.
Anyway, this dude revealed, curled up on his breast, a bag. He loosened the strings, then tumbled forth
Her suit. I also had to look that one up.
which means hairy.
Yeah.
Okay. Niagara.
So his
Then tumbled forth
17
his hirsute Niagara.
His 17 feet of whiskers was shoved into a bag under his vest.
How else are you going to carry it around?
Well, I don't know. That answers a lot of questions I had. Mm-hmm. And then it tumbled forth like a hairy Niagara Falls.
That's accurate.
That's
okay.
a very good imagery.
It is.
All right.
I haven't seen him myself for a year, remarked the patriarch.
Wait. Let's rewind. I thought it answered questions, but he just
Now I have more.
Keeps it in the bag all the time.
Gross.
Oh my God. Okay. Maybe he just meant he hadn't, like, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. Okay.
They were 17 feet when I looked at them last. This year, we decided to find the man with the longest beard in the country to appear at our convention. President Burns explained. We found one in Elko, Nevada with whiskers 11 feet 7 inches. But all hail King Langzith. We will crown him Grand Whiskerino at the convention this week.
The next in line was 6 feet shorter. 6 feet. That's a whole human being.
Okay, so if he just carried it around in a bag, like, did he wash it on occasion?
God, I would hope so.
But he said he hadn't seen him in a year.
That's where my more questions
Wouldn't you think that there would be, like, little critters living in there?
Oh, my God. I love a good beard.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Beards are great.
I love a good beard.
I'm all for them, but they have to be well kept.
They have to be well groomed.
Yes, like, you have to wash it.
Comb that sucker, trim it, wash it, put the beard oil stuff in it. Like,
yeah,
take care of it, guys.
Oh,
don't grow your beards to 17.
17
Also not
feet
70
long.
feet. That's way too long. Just give them a little trim every now and then.
Yeah.
Just maybe a couple feet is like max length.
Right? Like ZZ Top status.
Yeah, like to your belt.
Yeah.
I don't feel like you should have to push your beard out of the way to go potty.
Just part it in half.
Like the Red Sea. It's the red pea.
Ew. What if he was a ginger?
Oh my God. Okay. Sorry.
We got distracted.
Oh, this one doesn't sound fun. Okay. Mother's car dislodges stone that kills child.
Oh, no.
Mrs. George Kelly of 20, no. Why I can't stop saying 20. 271 Hamilton Place of Hackensack, New Jersey, was in the care of a physician yesterday because she believes she was responsible for the death of her daughter, Alice, 4, at the Palisades near Inglewood Cliffs. Late Monday, Mrs. Kelly took her 4 children and 3 others in an automobile to the cliff. She stopped the car at the top, and the children, all wearing bathing suits, went down to the water. Mrs. Kelly started to leave the automobile when she noticed that it was backing to the edge of the cliff. She leaped to the running board and put on the emergency brake, but the car had dislodged a boulder, which rolled over the cliff and struck Alice, fracturing her skull. Oh. Mrs. Kelly, that's not your fault. Oh my God, that's not your fault. If Mrs. Kelly had not stopped the car, it would have rolled over the cliff and several children might have been killed. Yes, Mrs. Kelly, it's not your fault. You saved so many kids. I'm so sorry for little Alice.
Oh my gosh.
That's so sad.
That is what?
I know. I'm really glad that, like, vehicles come like a long way. Mm-hmm. And like when you put it in park, it generally doesn't move anymore. Like, yeah, that's really sad.
It really is. Is the next one going to be funny, please?
I mean, it says ex-husband now becomes woman's father-in-law. So, I mean, this sounds like
God,
an interesting story.
All right, let's hear it. Ready? Set?
Yes, ma'am.
Divorcee marries her stepson at the same time that his father weds again. Let's read that one more time. Okay. Divorcee marries her stepson.
Yes.
At the same time that his father weds again.
Yes. Okay.
All right. New York, July 11th. A bride who was until recently her present husband's stepmother and her present father-in-law's wife was married yesterday by Deputy City Clerk James J. McCormick of the Marriage License Bureau.
Wow.
The name of the bride was Lorena Wilhelmina. Oh. Okay, Lorena Wilhelmina Breidenbach, who arrived from Holland a week ago. She was married to Wilhelm Van Beck Jr., a sculptor of Corning, New York. as Mrs. Van Beck Jr. was until September 18th last her husband's stepmother. The granting of a marriage license was delayed last week while Corruption Council...
Corporation.
Corporation. I like corruption better. And now I can't even say it.
Just corporation.
Terrible. Oh my gosh. Corporation Counsel George B. Nicholson carefully went over the divorce papers in the case, which were handed to him by the elder Van Beck and the present bride of the junior Van Beck.
He's like, hold up. I gotta get my head around this. So in September, she divorced senior, and in July, married the junior.
Yeah.
Yikes.
She moves quick.
Wonder why they got divorced.
Her former husband, Wilhelm Van Beck, a painter, and Hendrika Sefrina Hoving were married at the same time yesterday. They all came from Holland, and the two women, in obtaining the marriage licenses, gave their addresses as the Travelers Aid Society, 465 Lexington Avenue. Mr. Van Beck and Mr. Van Beck Jr. gave their addresses as 277 and 299 Walnut Street.
They're going to live across the street from each other.
Respectively, Corning, New Jersey. It explained that the artist had provided these homes for the future use of themselves and their brides.
It's just one big happy family, guys.
The elder Van Beck is 56 years old, and his bride is 45. The younger Mrs. Van Beck gave her age at 42 years, and Mr. Van Beck Jr. is 30 years old.
So, I mean, okay. Still weird.
Very.
But, like, she's, like, right between them, so I could see how that could be.
Yeah.
That's one of those, like, again, TikTok or, like...
You're at that age where you could date the dad or the son.
Yep. Oh, my gosh. Yep. All right. Fisherman Hook's son.
Oof.
These parents, man. I'm sorry. That was mean. No. I'm sorry. Winstead, July 11th. Newell Porch Jr., 6 years old, of Waterville, met with a playful accident at Dog Pond in Goshen several days ago when two hooks of a fisherman's casting device became embedded in his nostrils as his father was fishing.
There are better ways to pierce your nose, friends.
What? I'm having a seizure. What are the odds that it would hook both of his nostrils?
I don't know.
Good gravy. The father was casting, and before the line could drop into the water, the hooks struck the boy. Dr. F.A. Weed of Torrington removed the hooks. Well, thank goodness he got them removed. But, like, seriously, what are the chances?
No, thank you.
Ouch.
I mean, if those fishing hooks are anything like modern day fishing hooks and they have the barbs on them, no, thank you. We went fishing this last weekend.
Oh, yeah.
And Eldon decided to catch himself while getting the fishing poles rearranged in the car.
He just stuck himself?
Yeah, in his finner. It bled.
I bet.
A fair amount.
Did you tell him they're not supposed to do that?
It did.
Oh, good. Did you wash it?
He did.
Oh, good.
I put a Band-Aid on it poorly.
You're such a good girlfriend.
We were in a rush, and he was like,
"Have you almost covered? You're fine."
He's like, "Have you ever put a Band-Aid on someone before?"
Nope.
Like, I've only been a mom for 17 years
and worked in a doctor's office. It's fine. I don't know how Band-Aids work.
Degree in medical assistant. I'm kidding, honey. I love you so much. We were in a hurry, and I just wanted to get the Band-Aid on to stop the bleeding.
Hey, speaking of...
What?
Sir, because I know you're listening...
Because he's a good boyfriend.
I have listeners in Kansas and Washington, but where's my Colorado listener at?
Right? The one single one that we have. Colorado. Come on. Step it up.
Come on. Jeez.
Again, I love you so much.
Okay. Me too.
Oh. Okay. We're going to move on to Candy Boom fails.
A candy boom?
What's a candy boom?
What's a candy boom?
Is it like a firework with candy in it?
No, is that kind of like a piñata?
Kind of.
That explodes?
That could
An
be cool.
exploding piñata. We should look into this.
Okay.
I do not recommend you do this at home.
No. All actions are performed by trained professionals.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Like applying Band-Aids.
Oh, prohibition. Hey.
She just got click.
Light bulb. Okay. Prohibition has not aided the business, says salesman. Atlantic City, New Jersey, July 11th. The boom in the candy business anticipated by the adoption of the Prohibition Amendment has failed to monetize, according to Edward C. Clark of Chicago, president of the National Confectionery Salesmen's Association of America, which began its annual convention at Haddon Hall yesterday.
1, I wonder if they measured people's beards. And 2, why candy instead of beer or like alcohol? They're just like, everyone's gonna want candy now.
Yeah. Well, maybe
like
because
weird replacement, but okay.
like, you know, I feel like people associate like quitting smoking with eating candies, like for the oral fixation. So maybe they thought that having to quit drinking would be the same thing. Maybe. I don't know. The only effect the prohibition on the candy trade, Mr. Clark told the delegates, was to bring into business many inexperienced manufacturers who had anticipated an enormous increase in business. Approximately 60% of the candy consumed in the United States, he added, is consumed by children in the form of penny sticks.
I mean,
so again, why did they think that adults...
That just seems like really bad market analysis, in my opinion.
I'm glad things have improved since then.
I'm not shocked that the candy boom failed. So, sorry.
Yeah, me either.
All right. To check auto accidents, Atlantic City Police will arrest all occupants of cars concerned. Atlantic City, New Jersey, July 11th. Mm-hmm. The increasing number of automobile accidents on the White House Pike and other roads leading to this place, most of them believed to be due to drunken drivers, caused prosecutor Louis J. Repetto to instruct the police today to arrest all occupants of cars in such accidents and to hold them under heavy bail for investigation by him. I mean,
okay.
Shit. Drunk drivers, man. Mm-hmm. They just make me mad. The total of weekend accidents this year is greater than any preceding year. 2 persons were killed and a score more hurt, some of them seriously, in accidents between last Saturday and Monday morning. The prosecutor said he would endeavor to put a stop to intoxicated persons operating cars by inconveniencing the person in the cars with them. He's like, so if I piss off all their friends, they will stop driving drunk.
I feel like that's the same mentality of like high schoolers, like you show up late to practice and everybody has to run laps.
Yeah. Yes.
Like,
also, I'm glad they figured out how to, help the drunk driving situation.
Yeah.
I mean, I do feel like it has improved, but yeah, just arrest them all. I don't care.
I have a drunk driving story that we need to talk about after this.
You don't want to talk about it now?
I don't know.
No? Okay.
I don't. It was not me. I was not involved.
We do not condone drunk driving. It's dumb.
Don't do it.
It's so dumb.
So dumb.
Oh my God, I can't even.
Woman juror knits. Was she bored?
Well, I'm going to say probably.
Okay. First of sex.
Maybe she just has ADD and has to be doing something with her hands.
I mean, I get that.
Because that's what I have to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
First of sex to be chosen foreman in murder trial. Camden, New Jersey, July 11th. Mrs. Eleanor Webb of Glendora is foreman of the jury in the trial of Manfredo Grasso and Anthony Bogdanowicz.
That one you could figure out?
Shh.
That one.
Yep.
Also, badass alert. You go first, Madam Foreman Jury.
That's right.
Foreman Jury.
Jury foreman. They were
for Madam
something. I don't know. But they were from Brooklyn, and apparently they were youths. And they were
damn
charged with the murder.
Oh, those are bad youths.
Of William H. Bishop, taxicab driver, on the night of April 13th. The case was opened for the state today by prosecutor Westcott before Justice Katzenbach.
I think so. Or Bach.
Something. Mrs. Webb is the first woman to preside over a jury in a murder trial in southern New Jersey. Throughout the tedious process of drawing the jury, Mrs. Webb sat plying her knitting needles.
So it's just during
Jury selection?
Yeah.
Prosecutor Westcott said he would show that the defendants deliberately murdered Bishop in his taxicab while they were being taken in it from Market Street, Camden to Riverside.
Okay, so just to be clear, the entire article is really about these two kids who killed a taxi cab driver.
Yeah.
But let's put the focus on the woman jury.
Yeah.
Juror. Because that makes sense. Mm-hmm. You know what? I would have been knitting too.
Yeah.
Mrs. Eleanor Webb.
Good job, girl.
All right, but did you know that margarine is made from milk fat and usually coconut oil?
No.
Do they still use coconut oil? Because if they don't, they should.
But also, wasn't margarine invented to fatten up turkeys, and then it started killing them, and so then they were like,
we'll just kill the turkey and put the margarine on top?
Well, then they were like, well, we've got to use it for something. Let's just mass distribute it to the humans that will spread it on their toast in the morning.
You know what? A few years ago, when I was doing this hardcore clean eating shit, I say a few years ago, but it was like 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's been a very long time since we did that.
Such a long time. Anyway, I switched to butter, regular butter.
Yeah.
Have not switched back.
No.
I won't. I hate margarine. It tastes like straight up oil to me.
I will still use it on rare occasions, but specifically only on toast. Like,
yeah.
But past that, I'll buy like the actual stick butter.
Yeah. Ooh. Okay.
Anyway,
I'm going to go ahead and do this next one.
You please do.
Big dose of morphine.
Oh.
Passaic, New Jersey, July 11th. Passaic. I don't know. Somebody will correct it.
Psych.
Mrs. Mabel Wernickoff of Tampa was fighting death after injecting 8 grains of a narcotic drug into her own arm in an attempt to stop her husband, Jacob, from using the drug.
Wow.
Okay, 8 grains is kind of like milliliters or something, right? Like,
I don't know.
or is that like a smaller dose?
It is.
Anyway, it just seems like a lot of morphine. According to the police, she remonstrated with her husband for some time, and during the night when he insisted on using the drug, she seized his hypodermic syringe and injected the entire supply into her arms to warn him against the evils of the habit. Did that backfire, ma'am?
What?
I don't think that worked like you wanted it to work.
Like, crack is bad. Here, let me take a bunch so I can show you.
Yeah, right? Let me show you how bad it is.
What? Why wouldn't you just
make any sense at all.
Throw it on the floor or down the drain, or like, why would you inject it into yourself? Oh my gosh.
Right? Just dump it out. I mean, if it's in the syringe, just go,
yeah,
you're done. No more. I'm sorry, sir.
Right.
I'm going to lock you in the bathroom so you can get over your shit. And then we're going to the hospital. Yikes.
Okay. Girl gives blood.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah. Meridian girl submits to transfusion to save father's life. Meridian, July 11th. At the Meridian Hospital yesterday, a second blood transfusion operation was performed upon Philip Sport by Dr. Thomas P. Murdoch, assisted by Dr. Raymond V. Quinlan. As in the first operation, the pint of blood was furnished by Mrs. L.R. Rubin, Mr. Sport's daughter, who is devoted to her father and is doing everything in her power to help restore him to health.
Oh,
That's very sweet.
what a good daughter.
But I didn't realize that a blood transfusion was a operation.
I don't think it is now. What do you think they did?
I don't know. Like slice your arm open and shove a tube into a vein or something.
Open up. Here's some blood.
Oh gosh. Do you know what this space is? What this is called right here? The front side of your elbow, because like the back side is the pointy side. The front side is
The eye of your elbow?
yeah, but it's also got another name.
Okay.
It's called
Elbow pit.
or the anacubital space.
Well, that's very professional of you.
Yeah, there's my college.
Oh, that makes so much sense because I have cubital.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Cubital carpal tunnel. No,
Yeah, cubital tunnel.
Yeah.
Cubital tunnel syndrome.
Cubital carpal
I
tunnel.
got this achy freaking elbow, and it makes my fingers tingle. My pinky fingers.
You know,
tingle.
sometimes I sound so smart, and then other times I say things like anacubital carpal tunnel.
cubital carpal tunnel. All within like 30 seconds
I
of each
know,
other.
it's amazing.
That's okay, friend.
I'm just
I still
talented.
love you. It's all right.
Somebody has to.
New Haven boy killed. Meets death when truck hits car on which he is riding. Ooh. New Haven, July 11th. Joseph Leary, 4 years of age, of this city was killed and 3 others were slightly injured yesterday afternoon when their automobile collided with a motor truck driven by Harry Barnett of Brooklyn. The truck was owned by the Arrow Haulage Company of Brooklyn and was passing through the city en route to Hartford with furniture and household goods. The injured were Mrs. Dennis Leary. Wait. Is he an actor? Mm-hmm. Were Mrs. Dennis Leary, mother of the dead boy, her 1-year-old daughter, and Mrs. Fred Corber of this city, driver of the automobile. The machine was thrown against a telephone pole when the truck struck it. The boy was tossed out, while the others were imprisoned in the machine for several minutes. The boy was rushed to the hospital, but was dead on arrival there. Barnett was arrested at the direction of Coroner Eli Mix and held in bonds of $1,000.
Well, that's sad.
That is sad. Those car accidents, man, I couldn't imagine. Like, their cars were like heavy duty shit.
Yeah.
Back in the day. Sorry. Got to adjust. We're good now.
Okay. Well, this one sounds like it could be interesting. Tricks clerk and gets $1,200 loot.
Okay.
Woman resorts to original scheme to steal finery. New York, July 11th. An expensive-looking lady spent...
I'm sorry.
What?
An expensive looking lady. Like a prostitute. I'm sorry. Not prostitute. Sex workers.
Oh, yes. Okay. That's right. We can't call them prostitutes anymore.
Or like an escort, I feel would be the expensive looking lady. All right.
I don't know. Anyway, an expensive looking lady spent an luxurious hour shopping in a Newark department store. She was the sort of person whom even salesperson defer. It was, "Yes, madam, and certainly, madam, and we hope you will be pleased, madam."
Oh, so she did look expensive.
She didn't quit laying in silks and laces and pom-poms and doodads until she had bought $1,200 worth.
Doodads.
She came from Morristown, she said. A large fire-breathing motor car awaited her at the curb. "Oh," she cried as she was about to leave. "I'm so sorry. I haven't brought my checkbook with me. What shall I do?"
Oh, no.
"Please worry no more, madam," said the department manager. "We shall send the goods to Morristown at once." "But," she replied tearfully, "that will never do. I am going away day after tomorrow. The dressmakers are at the house now. I had hoped to take these very necessary things home with me in the car." Oh, it is so stupid. Is there nobody, no bank, let's say, that will make it all right for you to take the goods, madam? Of course, she cried. How stupid of me. Please put the goods in my car and come along with me or send a man with me. I shall drop him at my husband's office and there you shall have your check. Come, hurry.
Okay, I just feel like a fancy, quote unquote, fancy looking lady can do that.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if you are trying to trick people, the best trick is to act like you're the boss.
Very, very true.
Like, act like you know what's going. I mean, that's how I get away with half the shit in my life. I just talk like I know exactly what I'm talking about. And people are like, she knows her shit.
Yeah. When
the truth is, I don't, guys.
That's how you got through all of our years as our IT person.
That's correct. The Google machine really is good for IT.
Yeah.
It answers lots of questions. What did they do without the Google machine?
I don't know.
What did we do without the Google machine? We were so dumb.
Oh my gosh. Down Broad Street went the motor. In front of a barber shop, the car stopped. It is just 2:00, announced Madam. Invariably, my husband is in that shop at 2. Please go in and ask for him. In went the department store representative. 2 strong barbers seized him. He protested, but they firmly pressed him into a chair. One held him, and the other began cutting his hair. What? Finally, he squirmed loose. He jumped to the door. That woman, he called. That car. That's all right, my boy, soothed the head barber. Be calm. Be calm. Your mother will be right back. Now take it easy. They laid hold of him again, but he fought like a maniac.
Well, yeah.
A policeman was called. My mother, my eye, he yelled, fighting the policeman. What are you talking about? Whose mother? Where did that car go? Oh my gosh.
The poor guy.
Presently, the detectives, 4 of them, appeared at the barbershop. All I know about it, said the head barber, is that woman in the automobile came here this morning and said that she was bringing her son at 2 and that we were not to mind what he said,
oh my God,
but just cut his hair and give him a shampoo and all the trimmings. She said that her son was a little nutty, not much, and never dangerous, just cranky and given to letting his hair grow too long. Well, this guy's hair wasn't too long, but the lady slipped me $10 to do the job, and we jumped him and hung on him. That's all I know about it. The lady is still at large.
Boy, that lady is smart.
That was awesome.
I wish you could get away with that nowadays.
Right?
But they're like, where's your fucking credit card?
Yeah. Like you.
Right. Yeah. That was brilliant. That was a brilliant plan. I take back everything I said about her. Umpire Quigley badly hurt when hit by ball. Ouch. Philadelphia, July 11th. Umpire Ernest Quigley was hit by a foul tip and knocked unconscious in the second inning of the first game between Philadelphia and Cincinnati here this afternoon. Efforts to revive him failed, and he was carried across the field to the clubhouse by players and taken to the hospital. Did he recover?
Wow. I feel like we need more details about this one.
Did it hit him on the head?
Wow. It had to have.
It had to have. He was knocked unconscious. Yeah. There were nearly 70 million wild animals killed annually for their furs.
That seems excessive.
That's so many.
Okay, but also, hold on though. If you think about the ones that they typically killed, like mink, are rodents.
Yeah, but
fairly certain, but they're also very little, so it takes a whole lot of them.
But even to make if they're rodents,
but also think of every other rodent that you know in the whole entire world and how quickly they repopulate.
Oh, repopulate. Oh, yeah. But, okay, hear me out.
Okay.
And this isn't really because we have an overabundance of rodents right now, but I think it's because they have been hunting coyotes in this area like crazy recently. And my yard and property is teeming with rabbits.
Yeah.
They're everywhere. We went out the other morning and we counted 8
Wow.
right outside our door. And they don't run away from us anymore.
So my dad, they live in Cheyenne, and he, I swear, has turned into Elmer Fudd. He called me the other day, and I was like, well, what are you doing? And he's like, chasing the fucking rabbit back under the fence.
He's got his own Bugs Bunny.
He was like, the fuckers dug 2 holes under my fence this time.
Oh, God, it makes it so much better that I know your dad.
I know. He's like, I'm going to put a board in front of this one, and then I'm going to put a trap in front of this one.
Oh my, I have yet to be able to catch a rabbit with our live animal trap. I did catch plenty of pack rats that ruined my freaking car.
Yeah.
But yeah, have not caught a rabbit yet.
Well, just call my dad. He'll tell you how to do it.
But my landlord's daughter and my daughter did find an abandoned baby bunny and tried to save it.
Oh, no.
And I tried to explain that generally in the wild, when a baby is abandoned, it's because it's going to die.
Yes.
And that they just needed to leave it alone because there was probably something wrong with it.
Well, also a lot of times they say if you find a baby on its own, that like the mom left it there. Like the mom is going to be back.
Yeah.
Like she went out to get her food and she's going to come back and
she put
baby.
it there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the other thing, they also found a bird apparently drowning / dead in our pool.
Awesome.
And we recently found said bird in my decorative milk can that I use as a flower pot.
Inside of your house?
It's outside.
Okay.
Because it's like a outside flower pot. But it's like half filled with dirt. And inside of it is a dead bird wrapped in one of my towels.
So somebody, quote unquote, buried the bird.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah. And like I don't want to get it out.
No, that's gross.
But like
can't really
somebody has to. It's gonna be a job for my husband.
There you go, John.
Sorry, babe.
Well, speaking of birds.
Oh, more birds.
This is a bird of a cat.
A bird of a cat?
Bird of a cat. Winstead, July 11th. When E.L. Humphrey, Platt Hill, farmer, looked out of his window yesterday morning into a maple tree, he saw something move in a large knothole 12 feet above the ground. Climbing a ladder, he found the house cat in the cavity caring for 3 kittens about 2 weeks old.
Aww.
As the kittens were actually born in the wood, they will be given appropriate names from the list to be submitted by feline admirers.
Where do we submit our suggestions?
I think it might be a little late, friend.
Oh, fuck. My sister's cat got caught in the tree today.
I saw her Snapchat. I was like, oh my God.
Those little kitties are so cute.
Adorable.
Excuse me. Izzy, an author for Short Time in Mind. Famous dry sleuth, however, is forbidden to write Basements of New York. This is just nonsense to me so far.
Yep.
New York, July 11th. An ambition newly born in the heart of, quote, Izzy Einstein, oh, that's his name, Izzy Einstein, liquor sleuth, was quietly put to death today by Palmer Canfield, prohibition director of the state.
Wow.
I would love to be a liquor sleuth.
Right?
I don't know what they do, but I want to be one.
Investigate liquor?
Probably.
I don't know.
His was illegal then. Izzy's ambition was conceived when he read that his chief, Roy A. Haynes, Prohibition Commissioner for the whole United States, was writing a book to be called Hunting Down the Rum Runner. Why shouldn't I write a book? Asked Izzy. He got out his scrapbook, stuffed with newspaper stories and photographs of the booze forays. Of the booze forays in which he and his partner, Mo Smith, camouflaged under 1,000 makeups and had Sherlocked the downfall of as many bootleggers. 1,000 bootleggers, really?
That's a lot.
It seems like a lot.
But also, can we bring back the name Mo, please?
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know why, but I like it.
Well, I guess Izzy is probably a name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Izzy then disguised himself once more, this time as an author. and sat down to pick a title. He finally decided in favor of The Basements of New York. In the meantime, publishers got the word and asked Mr. Canfield about it. I don't know whether Mr. Einstein can write a book or not, Mr. Canfield, told them, but I know he will not be allowed to as long as he remains with the Treasury Department, for there is a century-old ruling prohibiting employees of the department from making public the details of their jobs. So he was with the Treasury Department?
Wow.
So they're just mad about the liquor because of the taxes they're not making on it. I love the state. Asked whether the ruling applied equally to Mr. Haynes, the state prohibition director sidestepped. Izzy said he would appeal to Mr. Haynes for permission to go on with the book now that he has the title written. He's like, well, now it's like for real, because I like have a title and stuff. So,
I mean, that's kind of how this podcast came to be.
The idea came first.
Well, it did.
It just kind of popped into my head.
You were like, okay, we have a title. We have to do it now.
We have to do it. And here we are.
Yay.
Six episodes in, man. That's like a month and a half commitment.
Yeah.
We've done. We haven't committed to anything like this since 21 Day Fix.
We haven't.
And that was 8 years ago.
Oh my God.
Why does it feel like it was yesterday?
Hold up. We have absolutely committed to other things. We're both
like smoking. No, I quit.
I was gonna say you went and got married.
Oh, like significant others.
Oh my God, we've not committed to anything.
Well,
except each other.
Okay, maybe a couple things.
And I mean, Eldon and I just had our whole 9-month anniversary.
Wow, John just had our John. I wasn't involved.
He had his own anniversary for 3 years of
3 years.
something.
I know, we were talking about it though, and I was like, 3 years.
Yeah.
It seems like not long enough. And also forever.
Yeah. I absolutely understand that feeling.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's like when you meet the person you're supposed to be with, and like, it's not like a chore to be with them. Time flies.
It does. But it feels like you guys have been together forever and always.
Yeah, because like you feel like you've literally known them your entire life.
Yes. It's pretty awesome.
Lives, all of the lives.
All of them. Multiple.
Yeah. My horoscope today said, not my horoscope, but my tarot reading today said I needed to do a little past life work. So that's my mission.
Okay.
In these days. All right. Well, thanks for listening, guys. You can find us on the Facebook at
That's What They Called News.
That's What They Called News. I was going to say that's what they called murder. I've been listening to way too many murder podcasts, but I love them. And Twitter at That's News Pod, and Instagram at That's What They Called News. And you can email us if you have any suggestions of stories you would like us to cover at That's What They Called News at gmail.com. I think those are all of our socials.
I think so.
And share us with your friends, guys.
Yeah.
Like we're really getting in the swing of this now.
Even though I can't pronounce words.
Don't hate us because we're dumb. We're a lot of
for yourself.
We're a lot of fun here. You know what? I'm one of those smart people who does real dumb things.
Yeah, me too.
That's all. All right. Thanks for listening.
We love you.
Goodbye.